Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today we are in the basement and I'm gonna be messing around with my lithium-ion battery banks, and I've been doing some progress on that. So let's go in the creepiest part of the basement and see that. So in here I have the 4 lithium-ion banks that I have made over multiple years, and I have 4 because I want each of them to supply a maximum of 15 amps. They don't actually have to supply that much because this charge controller, which supplies power to this inverter down here, it doesn't do that much. It does 40 amps, so more or less I need them to supply 10 amps. I rather want them to supply a little bit than a whole lot. So having 4 of them, they only have to supply 10 amps each to max out the charge controller's 40 amps. And well, this one actually is able to use a little bit more, but well, it's being restricted from this one. So if I can get that up and running, it will be a good part of it. Last time I connected everything and nothing worked, and I found out that that was because the banks, which has been sitting, some of them has been sitting for 2 years since I completed the build of them, and they have been sitting and waiting for me to complete the last banks so that I would have those 4, so that I wouldn't put too much of a strain, so that I would have enough amps to supply over here, and they had gotten out of balance. So clearly in the banks, which each compose of 140 cells, there are some cells that are self-draining, which is of course not a good thing. Over a period of 2 years, it's of course not great, but if I get it charged up from day to day, or more or less overnight, it doesn't really matter if a single cell drains a little bit. It will get charged up during the day, and it will be fine again. I am getting a new controller. I'm hoping to get one that I can kind of temporarily put in here. I'll have to change some stuff up, so I'll do so that I can switch to a smart BMS, balancing module system something, and instead of this very cheap and very limited one, as I can't see what voltage is on each cell and stuff. I think this was about $13-14. The one with the smart, it's Bluetooth and I can check it on the phone or something else running Bluetooth. Well, that's $50. So the idea is that it would be cool to be able to take this out, put the smart one in, have the battery balanced out, and then change to this one again. This does do a bit of balancing. It only does the balancing when the batteries are charged up. So if these 10 batteries are charged up to 4.19 volts, it will start the balancing. It will discharge these 10 cells ever so slightly, something like 20 to 30 milliamps, so that they will become lower, and so the other cells can come up. And the more cells comes up to that voltage, more cells are getting discharged a little bit, and if this one is low, well, that will still be charged and the other ones will be discharged ever so slightly. It takes a long time. I calculated that if we had 10 cells like this that was absolutely low, it would take 800 hours for this BMS to balance it out and get it fully loaded if it's only this one doing the job. Right now there is a bit of sunshine outside, so we do have some voltage coming in. We could just check there. We have 138.7 volts coming in. I do know that some of these banks are still pretty bad. Right now I have all of them on because well, we can see that if I shut them off. Oh, we should turn off the solar power first and then turn off the batteries, and the charge controller will lose power here. There, it went out, and I found that the 2 middle ones are not very good. So if I turn this one on, it does not come on. So if we turn the next one on, oh, that one is actually good. So okay, That one is good. That one is bad. So does it? Yeah, it goes out again. So number 2 here is not good. Let's see, number 4 is also okay. So, and that's because this cheap BMS is actually doing its job. When the batteries are too much out of balance, it will cut power so that you don't get any power output. And so battery number 2 here is not that great. So we need to have a look at that. And this one is good enough. Let's see, it went out again. So number 1 should be fine. And it is. So all 4 of these battery banks had gotten somewhat out of balance, so that when I tried it in the last video, none of them wanted to work. But at present, it's only number 2 here that is too much out of balance to actually supply power. So I need to take that out and bring it to the charger and see if I can fix that. The other ones has fixed themselves by charging for a week or so, but well, we might save some time by taking it out of here and finding the weak ones and charging that a little bit. So I think I'll do that. We'll see if I can find out which battery that is. So by following the cables from down here, I can see that it's this pack here. So let's call that pack number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll disconnect pack number 2 and we'll take it into the next room. Get some additional lights there. Everything is off. Disconnecting pack number 2 there and getting that out of there. There. So I carried in here at the workbench. We might just have a look at it. The other one I was able to measure this way. This one I can't get the leads down there. That's kind of weird. So, but a multimeter can see that. If I put it there, we can see it. Should we just start by checking the voltage of the whole bank, because it will show us a good voltage here, because now there is no drain. So we are seeing 48.3 volts. And I did my little device last time, this thing, to show if there is any power on here. So we could just, last time it lighted up ever so slightly for just a little bit. I'm just gonna put that in there and have them +1. Yeah. You can see it blinking when I just connect it, and it shows good voltage until it's having a load on it, and then the BMS shuts it down. So that is no good. So that means that it's shutting it down because it's out of balance, is my estimated guess. If I connect to the bus bar over here, I will get a reading here. We have 3.77 volts. The next one, 3.7. That's all good. Oh, switching to the next one, or the next pair I should say. 3.7, 3.7. So far so good. Here we will see 3.9, that's better. 4. Okay. Don't mind the plus and the minus, that doesn't matter. It's just because I don't wanna, I'm not switching the leads around all the time. 3.7. Oh, this one is fully charged. Okay. 4.2. So this might not be as bad. It's just, let's get to the end. 4. I have been very good at putting on tape here. Oh, here we have a bad one. 0.7.
That's not great. So that's probably our error. Well, let's just make sure and check the last ones as well. Now that we are at it. 4. 4. 4. And 4. Okay, so we have that very low one. It was over here somewhere. Was it that one? Yeah, it's those 10 batteries there that are very low. So we're gonna charge those a bit, and they're very low. I'm just connecting the leads to my power supply. I want to make sure to so it's still set for 4 volts. I'll put it down to 2 volts. Yeah, close enough. And let's see, 10 batteries. Charge those with 1 amp. That's 100 milli. That's fine. So we can do that. So the minus side is on the back. I set those, didn't I? Minus there. And I did an invention last time. Where did I put that? Yeah, I took a piece of this metal strip last time, and I made a little pokey thing that I can put down here. Okay, that was. And now I can connect the positive lead. I'll do that this way. And my power supply is complaining that it's drawing the full 1 amp. So now we're charging this cell up that is really low. That would take forever and ever to balance out. 800 hours, maybe not all of 800 hours, but definitely a long time to balance that out. And giving it a full amp instead of 20 milliamps, well, that makes a big difference. So yeah, doing a bit of manual balancing here. So as it has been quite a while since I started this, many people might not know what this is all about. And it's about building a power bank, power vault, out of old laptop batteries. And I purchased these. So this is laptop batteries. This one is from a Hewlett-Packard laptop. And I got boxes and boxes of these. And I've been taking them apart. Don't really think I have any. This one is from a Lenovo, but you take the battery and you break it apart. And I call this the Viking way. And inside of it, and this was a really bad example, that's the wrong kind of batteries. Here's one, also a Lenovo battery. Oh, they build them good. There we are. We can see the cells, and these are lithium ion 3.7 volts cells, and typically they are about 2,000 to 3,500 milliamp hours. Most of the ones I have is about 2,200 milliamp hours. A little bit more and a little bit less. So those batteries I take out and I clean off the leads of them, and they go up here, and then they on term they go over here, and this is it's a Precharger. These are really stupid chargers that I purchased from China. They cost next to nothing, but they will over a day charge the batteries up to full, and then they go over here where I currently have 5 OPUS smart chargers. And the smart thing about these is that you can put in a program here that tells it to charge the battery up to full, which well, it has already been charged up to full over here. So when the battery is full, it will discharge the battery to 3 volts and then tell you how much power that was in that battery, and then charge the battery up to full again. And I haven't completed this today, so there's a lot of them telling me that they are full. All of this is full. So 2,000, 2,000, 1,200, 1,500. And this one, there's a good one here, there's 2,500. It seems that the batteries I've gotten here, they are not that great a capacity, but I use everything over 1,000 milliamp hours in my banks, and I mix them up what I do here is I take the full ones and I write the capacity on them with a marker. You can see that I put a piece of tape on them. So we can take the first one over here. It says 2494. So I'll take that out and I'll write 2494. And this battery has been fully charged up, so it's ready to go to the next phase, which is behind me. And it's just storing the batteries that are ready to go into a bank. And I have quite a lot that are ready to go into a bank. So some of the batteries are lower than the capacity that I'm actually using in my power banks. So this one was 430 milliamp hours, which is it's not really usable, but I keep them in a box here. Who knows, someday I might test all of them again, and maybe some of them will have had a better day or something. Okay, so I have emptied out and written the capacity on all of the cells that had completed. I have 6 over here that are messing with me, that are being stupid, trying to give them another go. If I take the battery out and put it back in, it will try over, and sometimes that works. So now I'll take batteries from over here. I'll start by taking these that has been pre-charged, and then I'll start taking some over here. And some of these might be too low. If they have been discharged too much, they actually, often these stupid chargers will charge them up, and then when they are charged up, or well, they can go over here on the smart chargers. But if they're too low, the smart chargers won't charge them. But this will, let's try and take the first 4 here. They light up red when they're charging. So when they're green like this, they have been fully charged. This one is usually a good one. It's a good brand. 4 volts 26. The stupid charger charges them up a little bit too much. There. And they're ready to be discharged. And it discharges them with 500 milliamps. So it will take, well, if this is a 2500 amp hour cell, it will take 5 hours. That's why there are so many of them, because otherwise I'll never get anywhere. On a good day I'll be able to do 20 batteries, and that's okay. So on this last charger there was a couple of the batteries that it just says null. That's because they're too low. It doesn't register them at all. We can kind of see this one is a 3.15 volts, this one is a 2.28 volts, and these don't show up. So I take those out and I put them in the stupid chargers. This one is at the end, that's easy. I have a tiny screwdriver to just get in there and remove that like that. So okay, and very often it will work just fine over here. So we'll put that in and it lights up red, meaning that it's charging. Put in another one, that charging. We'll just put in some more, have them pre-charge. There. So we have 4 batteries charging up. There we are. Every time I put in a new battery, the light goes out on the other ones. It's kind of charging all the batteries at the same time, so the lowest one gets the most charge. So it just, until the voltage gets up, it switches the other ones off. But I need to find 2 good batteries for the 2 that wasn't working. So I have another one here that is too low, so we're gonna borrow one of these. These, I really don't have to put them in here for long for them to get enough voltage to show up on the other chargers. Very often a few seconds is quite enough. So I just put on the labels over here. It's tedious work. Actually also did these because they're going over here afterwards. I have some of these stupid batteries. I think they're no good. These has been trying to get a result for days now, and well, they charge and they discharge and they don't charge up right. So I kind of think that these are some of the cells that are discharging faster than they're charging, so they might not be very good. In the meanwhile, it seems that the power supply has reached the 2 volts, so we need to raise that up a little bit. Take that out and try and connect over here, and then raise the voltage 3 point something. That's fine, and it will charge them up again. And it's humming over there. I have ordered a new laboratory power supply that will be able to supply some more power and charge the whole bank. So that is on its way. I am building some new banks here. This one I've gotten the furthest with. I'll just get this plastic one, this tool out of the way. I have put bus bars on one side, and on the other side I have part of the way put on these metal nickel strips here. I ran out, and so I have ordered some more. I ordered some in China and realized I will have to wait for maybe 2 months for that to get to me. So I kind of decided that I bought something locally so that I could get on with this. So I'm hoping that that will turn up this coming week. But yeah, I'm doing this bank here, and it's a lot of work to do that. All of these batteries are getting fused on this side. With the new spot welder, we could just try and do a few of those just for video purpose. So let's turn on this. Let's make sure it doesn't short circuit itself and turn on the spot welder here. There, it's fully charged. Cool. And I'll just make sure that it's not set to full settings. No, it's just set to 1. And I have these tiny little fuse wires that I tested in a previous video. They break at about 4 amps. And yeah, I should probably zoom in on that. So I put that here. I try to capture it with the spot welder, putting the spot welder on top of it. There. And take the other lead. Am I in the way? There. And we have spot welded. I usually do 2. There. And the fuse is now stuck to that battery. And I very gently try to put it around the wire, the bus wire here. Which is of course lovely and tedious work. Trying to capture that. But manageable. There, coming out the other side. Grab the spot welder again. I kind of do it far up on the battery because sometimes the spot welder will burn the fuse. There, you can see it burned the fuse, so I have to do it over. I'll try that again. I'm not sure that this is faster than welding them on, I must admit. Oh, I must admit. I got a shock there. Did it get it? And the spot welder is at its lowest setting, so we need to check if it's on there. It is on there, so I'm not sure. I might actually prefer to solder them on because this takes us long, or I haven't gotten good at it yet. Haha, the well pump came on, but we weren't recording. So I'm also building a battery here, and this hasn't gotten as far as I've only taken the batteries. I checked all the batteries if they had a good voltage, and these has been sitting for maybe a year. So if there was anything bad with them, it would have shown up. So I found a new way to balance these out. Each cell in the power bank consists of 10 batteries like that. And so these 10 batteries need to be about the same capacity as the next 10 and the next 10 and the next 10 and the next 10 and so on. So these typically being around 2000 milliamp hours, that means that a bank like this is about 20,000 milliamp hours. And I checked on this battery. At other times I have I've written down all the capacity of all the batteries and mingled them in so that they would be very close to being the same. But what I've also found is that if I do a charge and discharge test, well, this one that is 2247, if I do a charge discharge test on it again, it might be 2220, and so it varies a lot. And me spending 2 hours getting these banks within a few milliamp hours is just not worth it. So I want to show you what I've come up with. just a second. So on the table here I've lined up all 140 batteries and I've sorted them from the biggest capacity. Oh, I'm bleeding out. Cut myself on the leads of one of them. From the biggest capacity and all the way down here it goes down to about 2300, and up here it goes from also 2300, and all the way down here lowest capacity in this bank is going to be 1176. What I found is that if I start, well, I usually start from the good end. There are 14 smaller banks of 10 batteries that make one big cell, and if I take one in each of them and continue down that way, well, I might just show it to you. I'll take the first cell, the highest capacity, and I'll put it in this bank. This is actually where the minus pole is going to be, and if I am a little bit smart, I could turn it the right way so I don't have to turn them later. Then these 10 cells here, that's one bank, so I'll jump one and go to this one, and I continue doing that until the end, taking the good cells all the way. Funny enough, these batch of gray cells, they turn out to be really good, all of them over 2700 milliamp hours. And so going down that way, so of course we have lost about 200 milliamp hours by now. There. And then down here I take the next battery. So this last cell down here gets two very much equal batteries, and then I go the opposite way up again, so that way it evens it out. I tested it on this one if that would even out, and I was within 20 milliamp hours of it being perfect, and so that is way good enough. As I said, if I do a new discharge test on these batteries, well, I might see way more than that. Turn some of the batteries around. I forgot to mix them up. So I'll start from up here and do the same thing again on the next row. Just yeah, they have to be that way, and that one has to be that way. There's all good possibilities of messing this up, but let's see if we can't make it happen. So I completed that, and well, there's these. I need to check if I did it right. If oh, I did it wrong. This one is actually on upside down. But this way, the most powerful cell that I sorted out for this one is in this bank here, together with the least powerful cell. So this evens out, and when you're I'm gonna be soldering all of these together with the nickel strips, and the bottom sides, all of them are being bus bar together, so they're gonna act as one battery. So this is one battery, and that's another battery, and a third battery, and a fourth battery, and so the capacity of all of this battery is the capacity that you have to look at, besides the capacity of the next battery bank. So they're all in parallel here, and all of these are in parallel, and these are in parallel, and these are in parallel. So it's not the individual cells that all of these will drain at the same time. When I'm drawing power from it, it's not as if this weak cell is gonna drop in voltage faster than this one. It would if it was doing the same load and not connected to this other one, but as they're all in parallel, they will drop at exactly the same time, and they will supply the bank with the power that it can. This one is going to supply more power than this one, but this one is going to be helping all the way down to where the BMS cuts it off, or where the charge controller cuts it off, whatever comes first. So it's not as if good cells and bad cells mixed up in a bank doesn't do the job. They do. And then we're gonna put a roof on it. All of these came in from China a long time ago. I've had those sitting around. But unfortunately I didn't buy enough of that nickel strip thing. We need 7, there's 4. Oh, there's 5. There's 2 more. When you buy from China, they will often give you a certain amount with free shipping, and then when you get over that amount, well, you have to pay shipping. So sometimes I just order 5 different packages, and so this is probably one of those occasions where I purchased a lot of these plastic things, but from different shops, just to spread them out. So also I don't want to run into the prices where I have to pay import tax of those. So pretty smart system. You put them together like kind of like bad Legos. They don't fit as well as Legos, but well, they do the job. So, and they have these little tabs, and they have to be pointing in the right direction, but it's not hard. I just upped the voltage on the power supply again. It has stopped. We have reached the voltage that I was aiming for. So, and I've put this together, so I'm ready to put the bottom or the top on this battery bank. And when I take it up, it's gonna be just like this one. And I actually did a bit of thinking, and I made sure that the most powerful batteries was on top here. Because I'm gonna draw the power from over here, so the most powerful batteries are gonna be the ones that are nearest the power outtake. It helps a little bit. Oh, now we have a power bank. Oh, okay. It does not want to stay together at present time. So yeah. So this is about a kilowatt hour of power, meaning that with this one I can run my computer for 10 hours if on just this battery. My computer uses about 100 watts. 10 hours of running my PC and the 2 screens. That doesn't sound like much, as you can run a laptop on 5 of these batteries for maybe 10 hours if it's a good one, but yeah. Desktop PC uses more power, and those big screens does too.
So that is where we're at. I'm messing around with the batteries and building me some more battery banks so that I can retire those lead acid batteries that yeah, they don't work anymore. So I have to do this and have to get this up and running. I don't have to, but I would like to have this up and running when summer comes. And today has actually been a decent solar day, and it hasn't been running very well with the banks out of balance. So yeah, I hope to improve on this, and so you might be getting some battery videos. I'm sorry if you don't like those, but I hope you will give the videos a like anyway, so just for good measures, and then we'll be back to some other videos when I get tired of filming this. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day out there. Bye bye.